Good evening, Greater Manchester and the vibrant hearts of Salford. Welcome to Second Chances on Radio Africana this evening with me, your girl, Hilaria Asumo. You know how we do it? It's always about real talk, real people, and second chances that change lives. Now, before we jump into tonight's powerful topic, I need to take a moment, a beautiful moment, because today we are celebrating the queens who gave us life, love, and limitless encouragement, our mothers. So to all mothers tuning in tonight, whether by blood, by bond, or by heart, happy Mother's Day. We see you, we love you, and we honor you. May your joy overflow and your jollof never burn. Now, speaking of mothers and the heart, tonight's conversation is one that goes really, really deep. We're talking about living donation and mental health, preparing emotionally for the journey. That's right. We hear a lot about organ donation, the physical side, the logistics, the physical, the medicals, but what about the emotional weight, the roller coaster, the big feelings no one warns you about? Because let's be real, deciding to give someone a part of your body to save their life, that's huge. That is, it's something most people wouldn't think about. And it takes more than courage. It takes emotional stamina, community, faith, and yes, therapy sometimes. So tonight, we're going to unpack that side of the journey, the mental health side. So if you're listening tonight, wherever you are, it's such a beautiful evening. So grab your cup of Zobo, find your comfy spots, get your family around, get your friends, and your nosy neighbor as well. I'm always saying that because obviously if you have that neighbor who always wants to know what you're listening to, get them in, because this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Let's talk about the head and the heart behind the gift of life. So I'm just going to bring in Miriam Makiba to help us celebrate this evening, our mothers, and what we're going to be talking about. So here is Miriam Makiba with Malaika, and I'll see you back here in a bit. Don't go away. Stay tuned, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the topic. I'll see you in a bit. So welcome back. That was Miriam Makeba with Malaika. That's a song that takes me right back to my youth when I was really, really young. I'm not going to reveal. I think I'm revealing my age there. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So we're back, and thank you for staying tuned. So if you're thinking about becoming a living donor, maybe it's for a sibling, a friend, or even someone you barely know. That's called altruistic donation. But you feel called to, that you barely know, but you feel called to help. That moment when you start considering it, the emotions hit differently. Yeah? You're excited, you're scared, you're proud, you're anxious. And some time ago, I spoke to a young man called Ali, and he donated to his colleague in the office. I'm always talking about this because it's something that we as Africans or Black people, we don't do. We wouldn't even consider it. Well, some people would, most people would not. Some time ago, I think that was after I got my transplant in 2018, I went back home. I'm originally from Nigeria. And you know, I had this interview on TV, and the TV station went out on the streets to ask people if they would donate to their siblings or any member of their family, and particularly their father. And you know, one of the responses actually struck me. I was dumbfounded because this young lady said, do you know how old I am? I'm 23 years old. My father has lived his life, so I cannot donate to him. You know, it was surprising. I guess that is, you know, how she sees it. But if I was healthy and my father needed a kidney, I would come forward because he did for me as well. And when he wasn't a match, he was very, very sad. So when you are thinking about donating coming forward to be a donor for somebody you know or somebody you don't know, yes, of course, you could be excited. I think most of the time, the main emotion is fears. People are scared. They're thinking, why am I doing this? But sometimes all in the same in the same minute, all those emotions are, vying for, dominance inside you, and you're thinking, what do I do? How do I do this? But you're doing it for our community, for those people who are waiting on the transplant list, for that call to say, we found a kidney for you. It's not just kidney, it's heart, it's liver, it's, you name it. So for heart, the person has to have died, obviously, but still connected to life support. So that is a huge decision for your family to make. And that is why I'm always saying that people should, when they sign up to the organ donor register, they should have that conversation with their family. But then there's a whole extra layer. But inside, in the midst of all this emotion coursing through you, there's that extra layer, which is the spiritual reflection, family opinions. Oh, goodness. As a black person, I know how much family opinions matter. They will call a family meeting on your head. So if you're Nigerian and African, you do know that is what will happen. Because sometimes you find that, the family are thinking, what is wrong with her? What are they thinking? How could they do that without discussing with us? And most people do that without telling their families. And then it's the whispers of, why would you do that? Are you sure? And that impacts you as well. Because whilst you're having all these emotions, you're struggling with all of them, there are other voices coming from outside. And you're thinking, I must be mad to be doing this. But yes, you are not mad. You are actually saving somebody else's life. You are giving them hope to hold on. Because right here, those people waiting, I was one of them, and I thought I was going to die. And I trained my children, my two children, my son and my daughter, to be independent of me, to be able to fend for themselves. But I'm still here today. I'm still praying that God will keep me to see my grandchildren. But when those donors are thinking about, donating, sometimes I sit and wonder, what are those, thoughts, those emotions, what emotions are they going through? What are they thinking? Are they having second thoughts? Are they thinking about, I'm not going to continue, or can I drop out? We're going to be talking about that later. And, some time ago, I spoke to one of the donors, and I asked them, why did you do it? And this was a donor who gave to their brother. And they said, I wanted to give my brother a kidney. But for them, the emotions were, they said they had nightmares for weeks. They had nightmares. I can imagine that. Waking up in the night, it's not funny. But when you think about it, breaking out in sweat in the night, I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? What if I got sick later? What if it didn't work? And this person, these were the questions they were asking themselves. And they said they felt selfish for even thinking about, backing out. That did go through their mind, to back out. But let's not pretend it's not easy. The decision to donate brings questions about your mortality, your health, your relationships. And many of us carry silent fears or trauma that come up during this time, because you don't know what's going to happen. And believe me, these are real feelings. Because people ask me, when I go out campaign, they ask me, would it hurt? Of course you're going through an operation. It is going to hurt, but usually the doctors give you morphine, they give you pain relief, so that you can actually support the pain, and they slowly wean you off that pain relief. And those feelings you have, they are valid. We need safe spaces to express them. So here's a tip. Talk to a therapist or a counselor early. And the fact is, when you speak to the living donation team, they would always refer you to a counselor who can help you unpick those fears, those issues that, they're running through your head. And even when you're eating, you're thinking, oh my God, what have I done to myself? And you lose your appetite. And it is okay. It's okay to have those thoughts as long as you continue to think about why you do it. And not just talking to the therapist. You can also talk to your doctor. Your heart and mind matter just as much as your physical health. And most of the time, the doctors want to make sure that you're doing this willingly. You're not being paid. You are not being coerced into doing it. You are not being forced into doing it. And if for any reason they think that this is what is happening, that donation won't go ahead. So that's why it's really, really important that you have that talk, not just with your family, because there might be some of members of your family who understand, or reach out to groups or charities like WSH BME Kidney Network, or you reach out to Kidney Care UK, or you reach out to Kidney Research UK. They would have access to those people who can talk to you. And I think the people who are closer to you would be the living donor team in the hospital. They are there to support you. They are there to answer any questions you might have. They are there to allay your fears. So don't hold back. Think about what you're doing. Think about the reasons that you are doing it. And then get on your knees. I always say this. Get on your knees and pray to God and ask Him to give you the strength to go through this journey and bring you out of it. So we're going to take another break, and I'm going to bring on Angelique Kidjo with her song Agolo. And I hope this music helps you, and it helps you to think about any decision you're going to take after listening to this show today, or listening to me today, and also help you make that decision if you haven't made that decision yet, to help you make that decision to be an organ donor, to approach your living donor donation team in the hospital you go to, or your GP, and ask them for help. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Here is Angelique Kidjo, Agolo. It's a song I love as well. I'll see you back here in a bit. Welcome back. I hope you're still listening to the show. So we're going to be moving to coping mechanisms and emotional preparations, and that was Bleak Bassi Ilyanga. I hope you enjoyed that, and you are thinking about helping somebody on that transplant list, waiting for that call from the hospital. So let's move on with this. So how do you actually prepare yourself emotionally for the journey? Let's get into it. First things first, you have to acknowledge your feelings. So keeping a diary can help. Music, prayer for those who are Christians and are prayerful. Even voice notes to yourself affirming that you are doing the right thing. Just don't bottle it all in. It doesn't help. It only makes you even crazier. Doubting yourself and doubting, if you should be doing this, saving somebody else's life. Secondly, create a support circle. I am not a donor, I'm a recipient, but I had a circle. And my circle of friends actually helped me to deal with the emotional roller coaster I was on as a recipient. Because believe me, it isn't easy. Whilst I was happy, there were other things going on in my head. And I had my sisters as well. I have 4 sisters, and we're really, really close. And we tend to talk to each other. In fact, believe me, if I'm talking to my sisters 5-6 hours, we're on the phone. We're talking about everything and anything under the sun, even till today. And they sort of they keep me grounded. They keep me grounded. They keep me thinking how lucky I am and how grateful I should be for this second chance I've been given. He said, look at my kids. They are all grown up. They were 5 and 6 when I had the first multiple organ failure. My son is a musician today. The song you heard at the beginning, that was him and his sister singing the song. He wrote it, whatever they do to it, produced it as well. And, we launched it last week on the 14th of March. We launched it. And that is, it's something that I hold on to, that without organ donation, I won't be here today. I won't see my son become a musician, his lifelong dream. Neither will I see my daughter go to medical school. She studied medicine. And there are loads of people who have been given a second chance. And that's because in the community have thought about how you can help us as a community of kidney patients. I'm still a kidney patient. It doesn't mean because I got a transplant that I'm suddenly cured. No, I'm not cured. I might look healthy. Believe me, if I wipe up the makeup on my face, you take a runner from me. So create a support circle, not just for your hospital days, but also for those quiet nights after. Those moments when you wonder, did I do the right thing? And thirdly, education. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key in this process. It reduces those anxieties you have. Ask questions. Find other donors. There is a network called the Donor Family Network. I'm a friend of the Donor Family Network. I haven't met my donor family, but just being a friend of this group, I feel close to them. I spoke to some, I think it was early this week, last week, I was speaking to some doctors who newly appointed doctors who are going to be working in the ICU. And I was with one of the co-founders of the Donor Family Network. And, when she shared her story, would you believe it? She's actually donated, well, her family have donated organs of 3 of their family members. Imagine that. You will not find someone that to say I donated before. I'm not going to donate again. But you know, this is why I admire those people who do donate. So get those knowledge, speak to people, and find those other donors. Find your people, because they are your people. They've done it, they've been there, and they know how it feels. So somebody actually sent me a message, and one of the donors said, after donating to their superhero, but 6 months later, they went through the depression. It was related to that, and they said they didn't expect that. They had warned them that it was normal, it's the kind of normal feelings that they could get after donation. So normalize these emotions, because nobody can do that for you but you. You have done the right thing. You have given somebody another chance, a second chance to see their children grow up. So I'm going to bring in our next song, which is by Asa. So please listen to this and listen to you as you listen to it, because I absolutely love the beginning. Very soothing. So take a minute. If you want to get some popcorn as well, do that. And when I come back, post donation recovery and identity. I'll see you back here in a bit. I hope you enjoyed that. That was Asa Wibi Banke. I love the song. It always ministers to me every time I listen to it. So here's the part no one talks about. Recovery. Recovery isn't just stitches and bed rest. It's emotional. You feel different. You are different. You've done something incredible. And not everyone around you will understand that. You might feel isolated. You might feel proud but confused. You might even question your identity, especially if things don't go as planned. You are not alone. And you know, that therapist did say that post-donation grief is real, and that sometimes it's grief for your old body, for relationships that changed, or for the silence that follows once all the thank yous fade. But healing is also where you grow, where your resilience gets stronger, where your sense of purpose becomes clearer. And let's also talk about solutions. If you or someone you love is considering or recovering from living donation, here are some resources to check out. There's the NHS Blood and Transplant Living Donation Support Line. There's Mind Charity UK. There's also Black Minds Matter UK. And also, this is one I didn't know about, but I just found out that Salford CVS has a service with local Salford therapists. So you can reach out to Salford CVS if you live in Salford, or wherever you are, find out one of your CVSs and see if they have a service. And also there's Kidney Care UK, and then there's WSH BME Kidney Network. And we actually listen and we support you because we understand. It's a group of patients who are reaching out and helping other people. And then there's also the Donor Family Network. Reach out to them and they can bring you into the fold and help you deal with what you're going through. And remember, your GP can also connect you with emotional support services. And somebody actually asked a question and they said, is it okay to feel regret after saving a life? And I say yes. You can feel regret. Donating doesn't mean you lose the right to complex feeling. You're human. You're human first. So it's allowed. You're allowed to have those feelings. And another question is that, can I speak to someone who's donated before? This is something we do. We do this all the time. Absolutely. Join those peer groups online, or ask your transplant coordinator, because these kind of connections, they help. Or reach out to me on 07842 348 994, because we can help you to deal with those emotions, especially when you talk to other patients who have been saved through organ donation. In fact, speaking to me alone, you feel so much better, because believe me, I am living my life because people like you came forward to donate. So I'm going to leave you now with Yemi Alade with a song, Africa. And I think I chose this song because I am so passionate about us Africans, African Caribbeans, because we need each other. We are not united enough. We need to start coming forward to support each other, to help each other deal with our illnesses, to help each other and donate to make sure that we have a longer life, that we're able to see our children grow up, we're able to get married, we're able to see our grandchildren, because organ donation is the right thing to do. So I'll see you back here in about a minute. I'll see you soon. Welcome back. That was Yemi Alade with Africa. And I said I love that song. So, tonight has been a journey of heart and mind. We've talked about fear, family, identity, healing, and hope. We've also talked about Mother's Day. Living donation is more than a surgery. It's spiritual, emotional, and a mental odyssey. And your mental health, it deserves front row seats on this ride. If you're listening and you're on this path, thinking about donating or recovering from donation, know this: you are not alone, and your emotions are not a weakness. They are part of your strength. Before we go, next week, we're flipping the script. What happens if you opt out of living donation? What are the implications, the reactions, the truths no one tells you about? So join us, same time, same place. Until then, love yourself loudly, check on your people, and remember, every second chance starts with one brave choice, yours. So I am Hilaria Zumo, and this has been Second Chances on Radio Africana. Stay safe, stay soulful, and we will see you next week. Thank you for listening. I'll see you here next week. Bye. Keep us together.